Hi French 2s, this is Mademoiselle Sears explaining adjectives from our current chapter. So we use adjectives to describe nouns. In French, your adjective has to agree with the gender and number of your subject. So normally, our masculine adjectives aren't going to have anything special on the end of them. The feminine form will have an E. If it's plural, we put an S on the end of it. And if it's feminine plural, it has an ES. So we have examples from our textbooks. Marc est petit. Abby est petite. Michael et Marc sont petits. Abby et Claire sont petites. So here you can see the rest of the page. Adjectives that end in an E do not add another E to the feminine singular form. So our words like dynamique, timide, stupide, drôle, those are going to end in an E. We don't add another E. Adjectives that end in an S do not have to have another S for the masculine plural form. Patrick et Eric sont français aussi. So it's not going to have an extra one. Yesterday, we took notes on words that have irregular forms, and today we're working with that some more. So beau is masculine, belle is feminine. Some of these words are going to have irregular forms, as we see at the bottom, where beau, nouveau, and vieux become belle, nouvelle, and vieille before a word that is masculine but starts with a vowel. Then we had some other words. These are in your Quizlet deck that are on Classroom. So they put them together as opposites. Riche, pauvre, content, triste, juste, injuste, poli, impoli, drôle, pénible, sensible, sympathique, amiable, bête, égoïste, timide. And then we have our adverbs. So we can hook these onto our adjectives to make our sentences more complex. So instead of just saying il est grand, you can say il est très grand. Instead of just saying il est ennuyeux, you can say il est trop ennuyeux. So it's another way to spice up what you say. But then, today, we talked about irregular words. So in French, of course, we always have exceptions to the rule. So let's look at some of these. When we have an adjective that ends in X, the female form has an SE. The regular masculine form is going to do for our plural form. So, Alain est sérieux, ses amis sont sérieux. There's a different verb here because we're talking about more than one friend. We're talking about them, we're not talking to them, so it's going to be sont. And then Alain est sérieux. So Alan is serious. They are serious. But then the female form, Alice est sérieuse. Ses amies, that are only girl, ses amies sont sérieuses. So the feminine form, we have an ES if it's plural. If it ends in AL, the plural form will be AUX, and the female form has an E on the end of it. We put an S on the end of that. So that's kind of self-explanatory. Then we also have some other irregular feminine forms. So this one we went over last year. We had créative and créatif, ponctuel, ponctuelle. These two sound the same. And then bon and bonne. This is going to be the same for cute, for mignon and mignonne. And then also with nationalities. If you look at the bottom of this page, it's going to give you some other adjectives that are not in your Quizlet deck yet, but they will be, probably by the time you watch this video. So we have some other personality words. Ambitieux becomes ambitieuse for a feminine form. Consciencieux becomes consciencieuse. Curieux, curieuse. Ennuyeux, ennuyeuse. Généreux, généreuse. We know that word from last year. Sérieux, sérieuse. Malheureux, malheureuse. Oh, sorry, I skipped one. Heureux, heureuse. And then péreuse, péresseuse. So then to make it feminine, if it ends in an L, we just add an E. So those are going to sound the same. Génial, génial. Libéral, libéral. Original, original. To make an IF feminine, we take off the F and put a VE. So actif, active. Imaginatif, imaginative. Impulsif, impulsive. intuitif, intuitive, naïf, naïve, sportif, sportive. And then again, when it ends in an L, those are going to sound the same. Intellectuel, intellectuel, ponctuel, ponctuel, spirituel, spirituel. And then we have mignon and mignonne, and then musicien and musicienne. So you should be able to hear if it is masculine or feminine in the form that you use. So on page 47, there were some examples of other words that we might not know. So if you're looking at this example, it's going to tell you bonne vendeuse, so a good saleswoman. So to give the opposite of that, you could say elle n'est pas impatiente, elle est polie et amiable. Pour moi, le copain idéal, il est amusant et intelligent. Il n'est pas ennuyeux. Il n'est pas bavard, which means talkative. And then another example would be une bonne patronne, a good boss who is a female boss. So, elle est juste et elle est amiable. Elle n'est pas pessimiste. Okay, so for your homework this weekend, you are going to do this activity. So it gives you two options, and you're talking about your ideal friend that you prefer. So you're going to have to make agreement with the person that you're talking about. So if you're talking about one person or more than one person, you have to make agreement with that. So if you look at your example, it gives you impulsif ou patient. Well, since we're going to talk about more than one, for your answer, you just have to write what you prefer for a friend. Moi, je préfère les personnes patientes. So patient has to agree with personne. In French, person is feminine. Les personnes, la personne. So that's why there is an E. And since we're talking about more than one, that's why there's an ES. So, je préfère les personnes patientes. So you're going to do that for each of these. You can write it out on a piece of paper, and then you're going to call in to 614-3285 and leave your message. If you have any questions, please send me an email or send me a tweet or send me a remind. But I'm here for you. I hope that made sense. If you have any questions, we're going to go over, we'll be reinforcing this concept on Monday. So please let me know if you have any questions. Have a great weekend.